I'm Dr. Elizabeth Coyne, and with me I have Julia, and we're just going to film this short interlude on personal feelings and just some ideas that might be helpful in your journey. Now, Julia is a brain cancer survivor, but also lots of different caring aspects as well. And both myself and Julia bring our knowledge of sort of different aspects of how to sort of understand what you're feeling and get the best outcomes. And so, Julia, do you want us to just go through the first aspect of asking and accepting help is hard? Sort of, how did you find that in amongst your journey?
I found that asking for help was very difficult because there's a lot of pride there. You know, I don't want to have to ask for help. And then, you know, people ask you, what can I do? And you can't think of anything at the time. And accepting it is also hard because it feels like, you know, I'm not good enough to be doing this on my own.
I can't do this, yeah. And so one of the things that I've sort of found over my time as a researcher is sometimes writing things down is really helpful. And even if that's the list of what needs to get done. So when someone says, oh, can I help you? There you go. You've got something to sort of help, you know, to sort of offer them. But the other thing with writing, sometimes your thoughts get a bit jumbled, and how did you find it? And then you've got a bit of a story about your husband and his journaling.
My husband, while I was ill, was writing his own journal about how he was feeling and the things that were going on. But it wasn't until about 7 years after I had surgery that he actually shared that with me. Because he was concerned that it would upset me and that I would feel bad about how he was feeling.
And I think that's one of the points to think about, that it doesn't have to be shared. It can be that personal writing. I know I do a lot of journaling, and it's about putting something out of my mind onto paper, where you can then either look back and sort of work through it differently, but also it sort of helps you just to say, well, it's done.
It also gives you a point of reference to sort of go, well, that's where I was last week, that's where I am this week. Things are moving forward.
And that leads us to the next little aspect about talking to someone outside the situation. And this is really important, particularly when there's topics which need to get discussed, but you're not sure how to broach them. But also when you know the person that you're caring for is really struggling as well, or their health professionals seem so busy. So sort of what sort of other people can you talk to?
Sometimes it helps just to get in contact with local resources like counselling or psychology, so you can just sort of lay it all out there. But if you have friends who aren't involved in the situation, who aren't really close, so in that outer circle of friends, so you can just offload to them, and there's no judgment, there's it's not going to come back to the person that you're caring for. It's a very private conversation. And
I think what's important if you as you're sharing and with is choosing the right person, because I think one of the things is to head up the conversation with, I just need you to listen. I know you're not going to be able to fix it, and I don't want you to get upset, but I do need to just go blah.
I need to offload this. I need to get it off my chest. I don't need you to help me.
That's right, And I think that's important to sort of, if you're the person that's offloading, but also if, you know, maybe another one of your family members, because we know families are not just one or two people. So that, you know, leave that time. And I think that leads us to the next little point, which is about accepting time away or time out, and not seeing this as selfish. And that's really hard because you feel like you've got to be there for them.
You can feel guilty that you're not there, you're not caring for them, that's your responsibility. But if you don't take time out to just have time to yourself, you end up putting too much pressure on yourself.
And so different ideas for time out can be just as simple as, you know, sitting in the park by yourself, going for a massage, you know, different things. Or it could be, you know, that you actually have a bit of a weekend away. You know, you and your partner, that it's about time away from the disease. And that's really important. I know my husband and I, we used to have sort of say this is a, you know, not talking about the issue conversation, you know, walk, so that, you know, it meant that neither of us brought up, you know, the cancer or, you know, our mental health issues, so that this was time away. And I think, you know, even if you give yourself a day, that this is a day we're not going to worry about life. This is a day we're just going to appreciate and being together and gratitude in that day.
Sometimes we used to do things like just go for a drive.
And
we didn't discuss any of the treatments or illness. It was just we go for a drive, see what we can see. Took our cameras and took photos of nice things.
That's right. Because, you know, the road is long, and you need to stop and actually have time out.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's sort of our next point. You know, like it is difficult, and it's not anything that you can do or change, and so it is okay to get angry and frustrated, and to really sort of let it happen. As long as you sort of give it, you know, I'm having an angry day. Give it the heads up.
Give him heads up, or if you can, save it until you've got some space. And then, you know, have a rage. But it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. Because, you know, anybody in this situation is going to be frustrated and angry.
And that's sometimes where writing, if you can write down that frustration, even if, you know, draw an angry picture. You know, slam the doors and, you know, go outside and mow the lawn, or, you know, like do something that's physical, because that helps to sort of, help you just to calm down and just sort of see life a different way again. And it is just about appreciating that there's going to be times where it's frustrating, it's sad, and I think acknowledging that is really part of that, sort of acknowledging that it's personal, and it hurts. This, while we're just sort of finishing off, this is just a word tree from my, I can't even, Wordle. Word cloud, thank you. From my previous research transcripts, and I think the words are sort of highlight that, you know, really is this happening to me? You know, I should know this, I should know how to do this, but I don't. I think sort of use this time to sort of think about how to do things differently, how to acknowledge the hurt, the pain, and to work through it.
And how to ask for help.
And how to ask for help and accept help. And not feel guilty. Although you will feel guilty, but it's okay.
It's okay to feel guilty, write it down.
So thank you, and hopefully this one was helpful. Thank you.